stay a while and listen.
What is going on, guys? Xtimus here. So today I wanted to show you one of the really odd builds in Diablo 2 that I've never tried before, and this is the Plague Javelin Amazon. So this Amazon does up to 130k, 133,000 damage, but it's damage over time. So I never really played a poison Amazon before. I never really thought about playing it. So big shout out to Shadow, which is one of the moderators over at the Open Battle.net server that I've showed you guys. They showed me a ton of things I've never known about Diablo 2, and it really opens up for some really nice content, and you know, I really appreciate you guys a lot and everything you've done for me, and just, you know, teaching me more about Diablo 2. There's always so much more to learn. It's just insane, man. So I've never really tried this character before. I've played this one a few times, but before this, I mean, I didn't even really know I didn't even know you could get damage on the screen showing 133,000. I never thought that it could go that high. So this is the first time for me seeing the damage that high. So I'm just going to go over the gear real quick. I mean, this is kind of just a very basic build as far as skills and equipment. You know, a lot of the little items aren't going to make or break the build, such as like the helm or whatever. The main part of the build is mainly just the poison damage. So I'm using Titan's Revenge, I'm using a Shaco, whatever you guys want to call it, and I put a poison faucet in it, and with that I'm using Mara's, and I'm using a 50% Bramble. But you know, the thing is with Bramble, the poison skill damage varies a lot. I think it varies from like 35% to 50%. So, and it's a really expensive rune word, so if you were thinking of maybe playing a character like this, you know, I'm sure there's other cheaper options out there. There's a lot of items in the game that have poison damage on it all over the place. So next up is the Spirit Shield. I just use this for some more skills, some resistances there. There's many other options I could go with, but like I said, guys, it's not going to make or break the build. Then I'm using Sandstorm Trek boots, guys, 2 Stones of Jordan, Arachnid Mesh, and I'm using some Trangal gloves, and that's for the obvious 25% to poison skill damage on those gloves. Then I'm using, you know, obviously the Annie, the Torch, and all of the Javelin skill Grand Charms. And I didn't go with the Mercenary on this build mainly because there was nothing that I can think of or that was really mentioned to me that really makes or breaks this build as far as, like, you know, depending on mercenary gear. So with this build, I think you can kind of just go about whatever you want to use. Maybe use an Act 2 mercenary for the auras, or, you know, maybe just mess around with the Act 3 mercenary and join Iron Wolves or something like that, you know. So as far as the skill points go, I put 20 points into Poison Javelin, 20 points into Plague Javelin, and then I put 1 point into Charged Strike. And then that's basically all of your damage right there, and you really don't have to worry about putting points into anything else as far as damage. And then put 1 point into everything into the passive and magic skills, except for the Valkyrie. I put 20 points into that. And then with the rest of my points, I kind of just put them wherever I felt maybe I needed them. You know, it's kind of all like a personal preference thing. I mean, if you want more attack rating or critical strike or avoid, or I mean, it's kind of just whatever you want to do. I mean, I don't think it's going to make or break the build as far as, you know, where those extra 10-15 points go. So we'll start the game. We will do we'll just do players 1 to start off, and then we'll do players 8 just to show you guys how well this build can work. It does a lot of damage, as you guys can see, but it does the damage over time. So the Plague Javelin does 118,000 damage over 19 seconds. And then the Poison Javelin does 133,000 damage, but that's over 92 seconds. So I would definitely stick to the Plague Javelin just because, you know, it does the poison damage a lot quicker. And, you know, obviously on Switch I have the Call to Arms and Spirit there. So we'll just throw one of those Plague Javelins right there. And bam. As you can see, I mean, it's kind of like a Poison Nova Necromancer, but you're an Amazon. But except for this does a lot more damage if I can remember. I don't think a Poison Nova Necromancer does any crazy 126k damage. I mean, I think it's kind of just insane, man. I mean, but we can see what it looks like without the bramble and without the Training Owl gloves on. You're still doing a ridiculous amount of damage. 173k right there. So it's pretty insane, but poison damage works a little bit different, you know, since it's over time and all that stuff compared to other damage. But you know, you never know. I mean, this is just where Diablo 2 comes in, where it's like, you know, there's limitless options with this game. I mean, you know, no one plays a poison Amazon. I don't even think a lot of people know about a poisoned Amazon. There's some poison immunes there. But, you know, I've obviously never played through the game with a poison Amazon. I kind of just put this build together because Shadow reached out to me and said, hey, this build can do 133k damage, and I'm just like, are you sure? Are you serious? And you know, I was pretty surprised to see that the damage could get that high. So as you guys can see, I mean, easily just took all those guys out. We'll go and start the game over and do it on players 8 and show you guys how well it works on there also. I mean, this is kind of one of those builds too where you kind of have like the freedom to basically kind of do what you want. I mean, like I said, you only need to put 40 points into the Javelin skills for poison, and then you're maxed out for your damage skills. And, you know, it really gives you like a variety of items that you could use. I mean, you could go max block, or, you know, if you want to switch the boots up, you know, it's not like it's a melee character or anything, and you need crushing blow and deadly strike and, you know, attack rating and all that. And that's another thing with this build. You really don't need a lot of attack rating because, you know, you just, it's on a cooldown when you throw the Javelin. It's on a cooldown for like, what, like 5 seconds? So it really, you know, it really kind of gives you that freedom to kind of just, I don't know, mess around a little bit. And you know, it's not like one of those classes where it's really dependent on like one specific item. You know, like a sorceress, you have to completely depend on an infinity all the time to get the poison, or get the cold and lightning and fire immunes off monsters. So there's really not too much that you have to depend on to make the build good. So not too many builds nowadays are like that, you know. Ooh, rare amulet, battle axe. Let's see this amulet. It's a pretty nice amulet right there. One of the assassin skills, 40 life. Pretty good there for some hardcore. Let's see, what's this battle axe right here? Chieftain, all that. Meh. But yeah, it's a pretty cool build. I mean, it's always nice to kind of just, you know, try something different every now and then and just learn a little bit more about the game. I mean, I really believe that there's just always something new to learn on Diablo 2, and there's always something new to create. You know, you just got to be really creative and kind of think about all the options that you could do. You know, like when whoever came up, like the first person who came up with like the melee sorceress with enchant and putting light points into lightning mastery to get the crazy holy shock damage. I mean, that was just like pure genius, man. And then having the bear on top of it, I mean, just insane, man. Insane build. I'm definitely having some trouble here. I'm getting surrounded. Those bats run fast. But I mean, I guess that works. I mean, I took him out. I just threw a few javelins in there, and it got the job done. It's not like I hammered in or anything, but hey, man. But I'm sure there's, you know, like I'm sure there's a lot of things that you can mix up here, especially when you're using javelin poison damage. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of weird build you can maybe come up with. You know, maybe some kind of hybrid build or something like that. Maybe you could go like Plague Javelin and maybe Lightning a little bit. I mean, probably not, but you know, who knows, man? I mean, you never know until you try it. I mean, or you could do something where you put 20 points to the poison damage. You just throw one, and then you could go and switch to a bow, and who knows? I mean, as far as I know, that could be some amazing build, but you never know until you try. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do some World Stone Keep. Hopefully there's no souls in here or anything like that, or I'm probably just gonna peace out. See, it takes them out pretty good. I mean, I think as far as a mercenary, probably a really nice tank. Maybe like an Act 5 mercenary with like a Doombringer or something on. Just to have something tank all the monsters. I mean, that would be pretty nice for this build. So then you could just have something tank, and then you can just throw your little javelins in there and get her done. Pretty cool build, man. Pretty cool build. I mean, thinking about that though, that actually might be a pretty interesting idea, man. To like go like poison javelin and then switch to a bow. You know, just throw the javelin and then switch to your bow. I mean, who knows, man? I mean, and I think just so many people are stuck on doing one specific thing in Diablo 2, and then thinking that, you know, that's the only possibility, or I should do that because everyone else does it. You know, like playing a sorceress all the time, or just playing hammered in all the time. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a hammered in to do everything in the game, you know, and sometimes it just gets a little boring, especially for me. I mean, for the past 10-ish years, played a belt that I think that's a poison belt that sucks. But you know, after playing for like, you know, like I'm saying like the past like 10 years, I've just been playing sorceresses and paladins, and it's just the same thing over and over. And that's actually pretty good belt. It's actually just the same thing over and over, you know, and I don't know why people don't really get tired of it. You just it's just like the same thing with Diablo 2 players. They make a sorceress to start off, and then they kind of do Mephisto runs or whatever just to kind of get their gear going. That's probably the best option, really, but you know, it kind of just gets boring after a while, and it's kind of nice to just do something else and experience new characters and play through the game with new characters. You know, not only is it nice to like start a character from the beginning and then play to the end and then kind of get to know that character throughout all the difficulties, but it's also kind of nice to see what it's like end game too, you know, and mix some items up and see what it's like to test things and try new things out. That's why I like doing so many weird builds and things like that. So, but that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this really odd build, and it's really cool. I just want to give a big shout out to Shadow, all those guys at Open Battle.net. You know, all of these lower game developers and dudes that are doing a lot for the Diablo 2 community and creating things. I mean, you know, Path of Diablo and Median XL, and you know, the guys on the Battle.net server, and the dudes making the HD mod. You know, there's so many really dedicated people that are doing a lot of amazing things in the Diablo 2 community, and I really appreciate a lot of you guys, or some of you guys. You know, I won't mention everyone or whatever, but you know, reaching out to me, and it's just awesome, man. It's awesome to see the love for Diablo 2, and you know, I appreciate all of you guys very much. I don't talk to all of them, but you know, it's awesome, man. So love for Diablo 2. So make sure you guys subscribe if you want to keep up with Diablo 2 content. Make sure you guys check the description below if you guys want to check out the skills, equipment, and all that stuff, or you want to skip to a certain part of the video you want to see the skills or the items, the gameplay, or whatever. So that's about it, guys. I love you guys so much. New ladder reset coming up soon, December 12th. You guys will see me there on hardcore, and it's going down. So make sure you guys subscribe if you want to keep up with Diablo 2 content. Make sure you guys hit that little bell button down there if you want to get notifications when I upload Diablo 2 videos. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys soon on December 12th. And yeah, love you guys. Peace.